clearly New Brunswick will have a choice, okay?
I think you heard our decision.
Just like the
Yeah.
choice over energy power, we had to fight to save that.
Well,
And uranium.
Yeah, we tried to sell that right out from under us.
Every issue,
and I-
Rutgers have to fight
If there
for
was a
the right.
choice, we would have.
You don't make a
We're
choice.
already paying people to
I
represent
believe,
us.
Exactly.
He's not the government official here, we don't need to get mad at this gentleman, is doing his job, you know, and we need to
let me make it
organize
clear.
ourselves and approach the government, like, we need to take a
How
stand.
we can be apathetic over something we can do.
There's lots we can do, but he can give us information, let's have it, and let's
Yeah.
use it, and let's work with it.
Let's be
Yeah,
clear.
It's great for him to be here and give us information.
Let's be clear, there's a zero tolerance as far as Wind Resources Canada is concerned. And as far as this government's concerned, I believe that's exactly where they're going to be in terms of protection of the environment, protection of water resources, and protection of public safety. You know, to have good solid regulations and regulators and make sure all those things are taken care of provides stability certainly for the public and for the environment, but also for the industry as a whole. Why in the world would anybody want to come in here and just destabilize anything?
Money.
Profit.
No.
Money.
No, you can't get
Just
away
like you
with that
Americans
in
went in
today's
Iraq and
world.
Afghanistan.
Yes, you do. It happens all the time. Look at the tobacco
It's
industry.
not going to happen here.
How much time did it take to get the tobacco industry clean? Oh, it's safe. It's all right. It's good for your health. It's not bad. 30 years later, people are dying from cancer. Oh, sorry, we were wrong. We were bribing out the regulators, the testers.
It was for the
It's happening through history. Bribery, lies.
Okay, we have two more questions, one here and then the lady over there at the wall.
Thank you, Stephanie. A couple of comments. One of them, and I don't think that Mr. Alexandre probably can respond to that because he's obviously defending the industry and that's certainly his right to do.
My company.
No, that's right. Okay, there's your comment.
Could you speak up, Roy?
Yeah, sorry. I think that one of the biggest problems here, or one of the impediments to going forward, I think, is that we actually have a very large lack of confidence in our government to act on the behalf of, and we see that example in Penobscot. So before that is resolved, there will be no advancement in this in any regard. Secondly, I'd like to correct the lady over here who was talking about royalties. What we get from royalties is very, very minimal in this province. It's 10% of the price at the wellhead. And the price of the wellhead, for example, in Penobscot or down that area, it's very, very low. And so, because the price in Boston is only around $4 to $5 a million BTUs. So if you take $1.50 off for transport to get it there, you get it next to nothing in Penobscot, plus what they can deduct in terms of processing and so on. So we ended up getting $606,000 in 2010. And I've got a few copies of that if you want to see the documentation. So I guess that's the basic question for me as a citizen of New Brunswick is what's in it for New Brunswick? And at the moment it's next to nothing. Okay, so we're it's like everything. We socialize the problems and then we privatize the profits. Now, at this moment, there isn't any profit in that industry, I guess, not in the natural gas industry. But and so we're getting very little in terms of out of it. Okay, and I guess another problem that I have about this whole thing is to say, okay, what's in it for our children? Okay, because down the road, this industry. How the industry works, and they invest money, they've got to get it back. There's no question about it. But the problem is that if we get structurally got a problem here in terms of a boom and bust industry, how are we ever going to develop it on a long-term basis other than just we're in for 10 years or 20 years and then we're out? Because we have no firm knowledge of what the resource is. We used to think it was like, if you listen to Corridor, a 500 billion cubic feet. Now they're saying it's 60. But then we've got the results from those last two wells, which were virtually nothing. So do we really have 60? And then how are we as a society going to use that energy we're gonna use it up, and we're gonna export it down to the United States. I think that's, you know, and sell it for $5 a million PTUs, and get nothing for royalties. I think that's a really, really questionable structure about the whole industry. So this is not necessarily an attack on your company or the industry. I'm just saying structurally what we're doing is stupid.